The word for philosophy in Sanskrit is darshana, which means perception, viewpoint. So when we study the yoga darshana of Patanjali, what we simply mean is Patanjali's view, Patanjali's perception of yoga. That's all. That's what it means. Over the years now, darshana is translated as philosophy because it comes closest to a philosophical system, what we understand philosophy. But this is a problematic word because neither a proper Western philosopher will accept Patanjali's darshana to be a philosophy in the strictest definitions of the word philosophy as it is understood in Western philosophy, nor is there an equal word in Sanskrit language. As I said, in Sanskrit language we have only words like darshana, which means vision, it means viewpoint, it means perception, or mata, which means opinion, the opinion of a particular master. So what we find when we refer to Patanjali's work as Patanjali Yoga Darshana, what we mean is Patanjali's view, perception, opinion of yoga. And because Patanjali arises in the Sankhya philosophical framework, it is deeply influenced by the Sankhya philosophical framework. That's why sometimes also it is referred to as Sankhya Yoga Darshana. That is also sometimes his teachings are referred to as Sankhya Yoga Darshana. Yoga within Sankhya. Now this was not the only view of yoga. There was also the Jaina view of yoga. There was also the Buddhist view of yoga. There was also the Tantric view of yoga, and there was also the Vedantic view of yoga. But today when we speak of yoga philosophy, generally we refer to Patanjali's view of yoga, and because somehow one beautiful thing happens, that even if these 5 great schools of yoga come from very different philosophical backgrounds, Buddhist, Jain, Tantra, Sankhya, Vedanta, still when it comes to yoga, all of them acknowledge that in the practical aspect we are deeply united. We are speaking of the same yoga. There are not many yogas. There are different viewpoints, but yoga is one. Patanjali's description, someone else's description. That's all. So when I speak of yoga philosophy, I try to look at yoga from all these different perspectives. Patanjali's work is a great work. It gives us the Sankhya perspective of yoga. It gives us Patanjali's perspective of yoga. But my journey, even now, is to explore also the Jaina aspect of yoga, also the Buddhist aspect of yoga. Later on at some point, I want to explore the Tantra aspect of yoga. And it is all these different. So for me, yoga philosophy encompasses all these, not only just Patanjali. That's one view, one opinion, which comes from the Sankhya perspective, but there are many more. But again, when it comes to asana, pranayama, all these practices, there is not much difference. Buddha also sits in Padmasana. The rishis also sit in Padmasana. The Jaina masters also sit in Padmasana. So the asanas are the same everywhere. So, and they all recognize this fact. They also say that the deeper inner experience is the same. In all, the description might be different. Then when you start to present it in concepts, it becomes different. And I personally believe that it is like, different blind people describing different parts of the elephant. Now, either you open your eyes and just look the whole elephant, and then you see how the different parts relate to the same elephant, Or till you have not opened your eyes, you just collect all the descriptions, and that will give you a whole picture of the elephant without looking at it. So this is sort of what I try to do, what I understand as yoga philosophy. So for me, yoga philosophy is not limited to Patanjali, but I'm still in the process of studying and learning these different views of yoga. So that is for me yoga philosophy, and when I discuss yoga philosophy here, I try to incorporate all these different views, even though, because my education has been rooted in Vedanta ultimately, because that is still a very living tradition here in India, I come very much from that perspective, from the perspective of non-duality.